In modern life, we often encounter psychological trauma and mental pressure, especially adults burdened with heavy responsibilities. Yet, Stoicism can offer us powerful tools to transcend these wounds and achieve inner peace. In this video, we will explore and analyze famous quotes from Stoic philosophers to heal profound emotional scars. Now, hit the subscribe button below and join us in discovering the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. 1. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca, one of the renowned Stoic philosophers, astutely pointed out that real pain rarely stems from the circumstances we face, but rather from our imagination about them. The human mind has the capacity to paint dire scenarios, exaggerating suffering and making situations seem far more frightening than they truly are. When confronting a challenge, we often react with fear or anxiety even before any real harm occurs, causing us to suffer in advance. Seneca's teachings remind us that fear is largely a product of the mind, and it can be controlled. Learn to identify and curb your negative imaginings. When faced with a tough situation, don't let anxious and fearful thoughts take over. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what is the truth of this situation? What is the worst that could happen? And is it really that terrifying? Reality is often much less harsh than the dark scenarios our minds conjure. Once you stop allowing fear to lead, you'll discover that you're strong enough to handle any situation. Consider the experience of speaking in public. Many people feel nervous, fearing judgment or mistakes. Yet, what we often dread exists only in our minds. When the presentation is over, we realize that no one notices our minor errors, and our earlier anxiety was just an exaggeration of our imagination. This applies to many aspects of life, from fearing failure in our careers to worrying about losing a relationship. Understanding that fear primarily arises from imagination enables us to control our reactions to situations. Whenever you feel fear or anxiety, stop and analyze the situation. Write down the scenarios your mind is creating, then compare them to reality. Look for evidence to support or disprove your fears. You can also practice meditation or breathing exercises to keep your mind calm and prevent it from wandering into unnecessary worries. It's crucial not to let imagination overshadow the truth. Always remember that fear is merely a product of the mind, and you have the power to control it. When you stop allowing negative imaginings to dominate, you'll uncover a freer life, unbound by anxieties or fears. Face reality with confidence, and don't let your mind deceive you into believing in non-existent pains. As you liberate yourself from negative imaginings, you'll discover your inner strength and capacity to overcome any obstacle. 2. Do not seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish for everything to happen as it does happen. People often get caught in the whirlwind of expectations versus reality. We want things to unfold as we anticipate, but when events turn out differently, disappointment and pain begin to brew. Epictetus's philosophy serves as a powerful reminder. Suffering does not arise from events, but from our resistance to reality. Life is not designed to cater to our personal desires, and when we recognize that no one can control everything, we begin to feel a sense of liberation. According to Stoicism, reality is neither good nor bad. It simply is. The only thing we can control is our response. This proactive acceptance isn't about giving up or surrendering. It's a silent victory over the mental anguish caused by expectation. Stop forcing life to fit your expectations. Instead, focus on embracing events as they unfold. This is the only way to move past disappointments and emotional wounds when life doesn't go as planned. Rather than asking, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? This shift in mindset not only brings peace, but also opens up opportunities for you to view life from a broader, more compassionate perspective. Imagine someone who has just lost a job they've dedicated years to. If they cling to the notion that life should have been different, their pain will only intensify. They may feel betrayed by their efforts. However, if they learn to accept that things happen as they must, they might begin to see this as an opportunity to explore a new path, a fresh start they had never considered. In many cases, life's challenges become opportunities for transformation if we are willing to accept and adapt. Practicing acceptance of reality requires high self-awareness and the ability to let go of expectations. When faced with an unwanted event, instead of reacting negatively, sit down and ask yourself, is this truly beyond my control? If the answer is yes, then suffering or disappointment is superfluous. To enhance your capacity for acceptance, you can practice daily meditation or journaling, where you document events and how you respond to them. This will help you recognize recurring thought patterns and gradually change them. Accepting reality as it is does not mean giving up on dreams or ceasing to strive. It's a flexible way of living, one where you are not trapped in unrealistic expectations and can confront challenges without crumbling under pressure. As you learn to accept life with equanimity, you'll discover that you can find peace even in seemingly unbearable situations. This isn't weakness, it's true mental strength. The strength to endure whatever life throws at you without ever losing hope or faith in yourself. 3. Everything that happens is in your mind. Change your mind and you will change your reality. Both psychology and Stoic philosophy emphasize that feelings of suffering and psychological trauma often do not originate from events themselves, but from how we think about them. When you change your thoughts, your perspective on events changes, and therefore, your experience with them changes as well. From this viewpoint, the reality you experience is largely shaped by your mind. The external reality may not change, but how you perceive it can transform dramatically if you shift your mindset. If you're grappling with psychological trauma, the first step is to recognize that your thoughts are keeping you in pain. This doesn't mean you have to deny your emotions. Rather, it's about acknowledging that they stem from within you. When you can gain control over your mind, you can escape the trap of suffering. Try shifting the question from, why is this happening to me? To, what can I learn from this situation? This small shift in thinking can help you break free from self-victimization and find a more positive direction. Imagine someone who has just experienced a major event, such as losing a loved one or ending a significant relationship. Initially, the pain will be immense, and they might feel that their world has collapsed. But if they start changing their mindset, recognizing that life goes on and they can find meaning from this loss, the pain can become more bearable. They might see it as an opportunity to learn how to heal themselves, become stronger, or find new meaning in life. When you notice yourself getting trapped in negative emotions, stop and ask, does this thought truly reflect reality, or is it just a product of my mind? Writing down your feelings and then analyzing them can help clarify that often pain arises more from the mind than from the event itself. This way, you can gradually change how you perceive life and the events within it. Changing your thoughts is not an easy process, but it is entirely achievable. By focusing on what you can control, that is, your own mind, you will start to feel freedom from psychological pain. Each day, remind yourself that you have the power to change your reality simply by changing how you think about it. This freedom will help you overcome trauma, and gradually, you will find peace within your own soul. 4. Remember, you have the power to shape your own reality. In this quote, Epictetus asserts an important truth. Our power lies not in changing the external world, but in our ability to shape how we perceive and react to what happens around us. Each of us has the capacity to decide how we feel about situations, which can profoundly alter our lives. When we realize that our reality is not something fixed, but rather a result of our own thoughts and beliefs, we begin to feel free and empowered. Make it a habit to remind yourself that you have the ability to create change in your life. If you're unhappy with any aspect, instead of complaining or feeling powerless, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? Positive thinking and actively seeking solutions will help you build the reality you desire. The key here is to take responsibility for your own life rather than blaming circumstances or others. Consider the success stories around you, from entrepreneurs who started with nothing to athletes who overcame injuries to reach the top again. They weren't born with special privileges. They recognized that they had the power to shape their lives. They accepted that, while they can't control everything, they can control how they react and act. For example, a person who has failed in business may decide not to let that diminish their self-worth. Instead, they can view it as a valuable lesson and an opportunity for growth. To truly feel your power in shaping your reality, start with small daily habits. Write down the negative thoughts you encounter and replace them with positive ones. Create a list of specific goals you want to achieve, and each day, take one small step towards those goals. This way, you'll clearly see the strength of controlling your own mindset and actions. Always remember that you have the right to control your life. Every decision you make, every thought you think, can influence the reality you live in. Instead of waiting for things to happen, become the architect of your own life. Confidence and the ability to shape your reality are not far-fetched ideas. They are within your reach. When you recognize and harness this power, you open the door to a life filled with meaning and purpose like never before. 5. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Seneca emphasizes the importance of maintaining a calm mind when facing challenges and hardships in life. When confronted with misfortune, our natural reaction might be to worry, panic, or feel frustrated. However, these responses only worsen the situation. Conversely, if we can maintain a calm and serene mind, we not only lessen our emotional burden, but also enhance our ability to cope with the situation. Calmness allows us to think more clearly, make better decisions, and ultimately navigate challenges more effectively. One of the best ways to achieve this is through meditation or breathing exercises. When you feel stressed, take a few minutes to breathe deeply, focus on each breath, and feel a sense of peace within. Remember that every challenge brings a valuable lesson, and if you can keep a clear mind, you will be able to view the issue from a new perspective, thus finding the best solution. There are many real-life examples of maintaining calm in times of crisis. Think about leaders in emergency situations, like doctors in the ER or firefighters during a blaze. They don't let their emotions dictate their decisions. They understand that calmness is key to making accurate choices that can save lives and help them overcome challenges. This composure in difficult moments is something anyone can learn and apply in everyday life. To develop the ability to stay calm in the face of adversity, practice a few simple techniques. You might start by setting aside time each day for meditation or deep breathing exercises. One popular technique is to inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for a count of 4. Repeat this process several times when you feel stressed. Additionally, imagine yourself in various scenarios, experimenting with how you would react in difficult situations and visualizing calmness in your mind. Always remember that you have the ability to choose how to respond to any challenge in life. When you face difficulties, choose calmness. Recognize that staying composed not only helps you cope better with challenges, but also fosters personal growth. As you learn to maintain your calm, you free yourself from the burdens of misfortune and become an inspiration to those around you. Step out of the comfort zone of anxiety and embrace every challenge with confidence and courage. 6. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. In this statement, Seneca highlights an intriguing yet often overlooked aspect of the human mind. We tend to create unnecessary fears and worries in our imagination, often more than what actually happens in real life. This not only leaves us mentally exhausted, but also hinders our ability to fully experience each present moment. Our anxieties often arise from trying to envision worst-case scenarios, leading to a cascade of negative thoughts and suffering that isn't even real. To alleviate the mental suffering caused by imagination, start by identifying and challenging your negative thoughts. When you feel anxious or afraid about something, ask yourself, is this really happening? Is there a chance that the worst-case scenario won't occur? Focus on the present and what you can control. This will help reduce anxiety and restore your inner peace. A prominent example of suffering in imagination can be seen in individuals preparing for interviews or other significant life situations. They often imagine the worst-case scenarios. What if I don't answer the questions correctly? Or what if they don't like me? Such thoughts can cause stress and fear, even though reality may not be as bad as they imagine. When they actually step into the interview, they realize that what matters more is keeping a calm and confident mindset. To minimize the tendency to imagine suffering, try keeping a journal. Write down your anxious thoughts and then counter them. This practice not only helps you gain greater awareness of negative thinking, but also allows you to see that many of these thoughts lack basis. In addition, find positive ways to relieve stress, such as exercising, engaging in creative activities, or simply spending time with loved ones. Remember that your strength lies in controlling how you think about life's situations. Don't let your imagination dictate your emotions and actions. Be proactive in creating peace and happiness for yourself. Instead of living in fear of what might happen, live in the moment and experience each day with gratitude and acceptance. You can overcome the suffering brought on by imagination and live a more fulfilling life.